Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. Hope you all. Thanks again for tuning in. This is an episode called Lights Turned Off, where I examine the Warriors more closely with stats as well as thoughts to talk about, and obviously looking at the overall, stats for the game as well. But look, before I get into that, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. You can follow me on Spotify, obviously YouTube, Twitter, Instagram as well, and Facebook. So yeah, look, go for it. I'd appreciate it. Again, it's all about growing. It's all about engaging. It's all about community. And I love what I do, and I want to continue to press on and move forward with this. But in saying that as well, like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share around. I'd appreciate it. That'd be cool. But halfback just kicked me the ball. Hit the intro. All right, so this is the Lights Turned Off, and I give you guys my thoughts again, as mentioned. But in saying that, obviously, as we know, yesterday the Warriors hosted the Sharks in Queensland, and the Warriors came away with the chocolate cookies. So we won 18 points to 16 against a very, I think, obviously, both teams are hit with players missing. But in saying that, the Sharks they're a team that has had some good wins. They've had some tough losses too, but they're definitely not in the worst team category to have a win over. And thankfully, we did just that. So with the player stats I look over, the attacking meters, we had Adam Fonua-Blake, who had 222 meters. For the post-contact meters, we had Adam Fonua-Blake with 95 meters. And our tackle breaks was Hiku with 7. And the tackles was Josh Curran, who made 42. And our no miss tackles plus tackles, so no misses plus tackles, was Bunty R4 with 23 tackles and no misses from the bench. And line breaks was Reece Walsh with 2. And look, we're going to go into the team stats here before I talk about players and all that stuff. And obviously, as you guys know, if you've been watching this, team stats to me tell the whole story. So let's get into it. So the Warriors first and Sharks. The Warriors had 10 errors, the Sharks had 8. Which again shows you that, we in a game where we usually have lots of errors, we usually lose. So it's a good thing, we managed to clean up, or if not clean up, our defense was definitely there. So props to that. Penalties was 9-4. So so discipline was definitely not in the books yesterday, as we knew. Very telling, but hey, we still got the victory there. Missed tackles was 38-38, so both were the same. Possession was Warriors 51 and Sharks 49. So again, quite close there. Both teams just about equal in shares there. There was no real starving of the ball. Looks like both teams, they capitalized what they had. And the completion rate was 82% to 80. And as stated before in other videos examining the Warriors with completion rates, the Warriors do well most times to complete at a high rate. Obviously, the penalties and errors and all that stuff sort of come into the equation there. But no, they did well there. And the tackle breaks was 38 apiece. And the tackling was Warriors had 327 to the Sharks with 334. So again, it shows you it was a very, tightly contested game. And look, just examining the game overall, obviously, yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go check out my review there. That tends to be the more off the hip sort of thing, whereas this is more, emotions are gone. We're going to bring up the numbers, we're going to bring up the stats, and we'll talk about it. So again, with the Sharks, as we know, kudos to them, however. And I'll definitely get to all the talking points there. But so yeah, just to go off with the Sharks tries. So obviously, apart from Britain Nikora scoring that try, 2 of the other tries actually came from long range tries. So again, making use of the Warriors' inexperience, particularly Vailea, I believe, was involved in 2 of their tries by not making the crucial tackles. Dylan Watson and Selesnik as well. I think it was that try where they scored in the last 40 odd seconds of the game. Then while Tennis Lesnick pushes in a tackle, and then they sort of attack from there. And then the other one prior to that one too was Vailea getting caught out of position by Kennedy, and they score again. So it shows me that though the defense was definitely better, obviously, from the Warriors, there was still some key points in the game where Sharks were able to, sort of take advantage or expose. And in the first half, they definitely did. Now, bear in mind, the Sharks did not score a single point in the next half. So I'm assuming Warriors, obviously, the game plan was to shut up the centers there, especially in the edges for both sides, and that's what they did. So Viliami Vailea, again, not to point him out, but obviously, again, it's just more the learning experience, and he'll get better with time. And look, kudos to the Sharks because, hey, they know how to score tries, to be quite frank. So it was good. And then again, obviously, talking about it overall, just a good game. So I want to go to my thoughts, but before I do that, I want to give you guys my best of three in terms of players, and I'll talk about them and why. So from 3 to 1. So in third place was was Curran. Josh Curran, just an absolute bloody terrific player. I think he's come in leaps and bounds, and I keep saying these words, but Josh Curran was somebody who I thought has started off very shaky this year, but with every game he has persisted, he's gone good. And then during that post-match conference interview where Nathan Brown talks about him, he says that we actually notice when he's not playing, and that's right. Josh Curran does bring that versatility, but he brings that ball playing, which he's really improved on. Not only that, but he's also a solid defender, as mentioned before, leading the Warriors with 42 tackles. He's really dynamic in that he can play lock, he can play second row, and in saying that, I just absolutely appreciate the hard work that's gone into him for himself to really try and dedicate his craft and honing it, and to make him just one of those players where, that's right, every Tuesday we expect him to be picked. Every Tuesday. And he's done so well there. So kudos again to Curran. Scored one try, and hey, I'm glad he's well off that little mishap at the end there where he was tripping all over the place. But at number 2 we got Ewan Aitken. I praised him highly yesterday, and I'll do it again. And I suppose it's probably a joint venture between him and Nathan Brown here, but that movement to our second row in the edges has, as the commentator said, he's been reborn. He's a new player here, and he plays so well defensively. He is so good defensively, and on the offensive side, he's added more strike. He's such a strong player. We forget usually how good of a ball runner he is, because a lot of the times he's mainly tackling. So when we have that advantage, when we actually get the time to actually use the ball and run, we see that that's his natural sort of strength coming out there. And obviously, in context to his try, remember it's 5th and last. It looked like the Warriors had no idea what they were doing. One pass out to Chanel Harris-Tavita, and then I don't know, I can't really remember what happened there, but after that, it's all like you're thinking kick. No, he doesn't, pass it to Ewan Aitken, and it looked like it was a bit of a mistake, like, as if he wasn't supposed to get the ball, or maybe he did, but the pass wasn't on. And then Chambers grabs in, gets out of that one there, and then obviously, Tej Wilton tries to grab him, and he, brushes off that as well and scores, and it's just so good to see. Ewan Aitken has just, it's great to see him in this way, and that second row move was just an absolute high IQ play by the coach there, and just kudos again at second place. But first place for me personally, Eden Fonua-Blake. Wow, the meters he ate, as I said, 222 meters, 95, close to 100 meters worth of post-contact meters. This guy here was an absolute unit, and it was so good just to see him just do what he does, which is run over people, play the ball hard, and just play well in general. And it was really good to see. So very, very happy about that. He's a captain too, and he's leading by example. Not only that, you can see he's vocalizing with the boys too, So it's good to see someone vocalize, someone talk. So I appreciate that. So those are my top 3. Who are yours? Let me know. All right, so some of the closing thoughts here. I've got the halves as well. Obviously, Chanel Harris-Tavita coming back from injury. It was good to see him there, and it was a good kicking performance. He said it in his post-match interview with Walshy Baby. He said he was due for a good kicking game, and we all laugh about it, but the reality is he is. And when he can kick, right? And it was good to see a more... Look, I know he loves to fire up and he loves to run, but I like this approach where he is just dictating the game with his kicking and his passing. I think he's really good at doing that. He's a very good distributor of the ball. He's got really good awareness of the space around him. If you watch him carefully, he's actually really good at doing these things, and he actually knows where to kick the ball. He's got a good instinct for it. And to come back from injury and get into that's good. More game time is going to be good for him. As I said before many times, he is my personal... That's the dude that I want to... I want him to be leading the Warriors in the attacking end. That's it. End of story. That's my thoughts. O'Sullivan as well. Props to him. I think he was probably unlucky to miss out there in the top 3, but he too has had a good game, and he too is just someone who's... I don't know what it is. Did he get like a shellacking? Did someone give him the talk or something? But he's just stepped up and he's just brilliant. He's playing a good, more composed game. again, it's good to have halves who actually don't look like there are headless chooks running around. They actually look like they know what they're doing. Thank goodness. That's what we want. Good work of the halves. Nikodima bench. Interesting move, obviously, but I think it's actually working. He should definitely still be there. It's good there. Him and Tavanga. Again, Tavanga, notable mention as well for him. But Nikodima off the bench was good, and he actually made 32 tackles, by the way. 2 misses, so hey, there's something there. And mentioned before, Adam Fonua-Blake, there's obviously Matt Lodge. It was good. The props definitely let up from the front, and Matt Lodge, I appreciate his offloading. He needs to cool it down with the temperament. He definitely has a bit of an aggressive streak, him and Kane Evans, the Foldham bros, but they've got to relax that there for a bit. But in saying that, Lodge too, I do believe he might be missing a game or two. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what may happen. And I touched on it before as well. Enofanor's captaincy, great to see. Kane Evans, so that situation there of Kane Evans and Will Chambers, you can argue and say that Will Chambers head slammed him the first time, and then said something, and then, Evans sort of obviously got aggressive and started folding him. But you can also look at the second part too, when Evans got binned the second time and they said head slam, but that didn't look like a head slam to me. That looked like a perfect tackle. Now, the only reason why I'm upset with Evans is because obviously, look, these two things I'm looking at. There's the attitude. There's a poor attitude there. I get you're aggressive. I get it's an aggressive game. I understand it's contact, sure. But again, some situations just call for calm instead of erratic behavior, right? And then number 2, because the game was on the line there and we could have lost. So for me, I'm upset in that regard, right? I'm upset there. That's why I'm upset. In regards to him just, hey, being aggressive, throwing a few hands. Look, I don't advocate for violence, but hey, whatever. I'm not going to, whatever. But in terms of actually the greater context of things, no, it's not great to see those. So that's where I stand. That's where I sit on it. But at the end of the day, like I said, it felt like the Sharks and Evans versus the Warriors. It is what it is, I guess. But hey, that's not to say he didn't have his little impact there. You know what I mean? So, but it's good to know. It is what it is. At least we got some brutes. You can look at it different ways. But those are my thoughts there. And just quickly, again, Gato on bench was good. Him and Bunty R4 have been superb. It's great to see more energy and more zest coming out of R4 as well from the bench. Mentioning before, having 23 tackles and no misses. He played for 30 minutes. Good to see. Very, very good to see. Gato as well coming on. Had a few good touches, have had a few good runs. And it's just good to see him coming in, and he'll gain more confidence. And just remembering, he's been injured. He's been dropped. So again, it's good to see that he's back. So awesome to see. But look, just to round everything off, guys, it's a win. The defense was there. It was gritty. It was grinding. Sure, there were moments in the game, especially being down by 10, where I thought it was probably time to turn off the light, so to speak. But no, we managed to come back and score some vital tries. Hats off to Reece Walsh as well. Absolutely superb. And see, these are the games here that he needs to be part of. And it just helps when you have Chanel Harris-Tavita back. Now again, CHT is going to learn. It's not going to be perfect. However, this game here that he displayed yesterday, especially in the halves, is a game we want to see from him. The big hits, but also the that work ethic, that sort of the thought, the brains in there is there. It's clearly there, and he had it yesterday. So big props to him. Just big props to the Warriors all over. Collective effort. Sure, obviously we can probably rub out Evans from that one there, but I'm going to bring him in there. He did his little piece. Ian Vermette sort of throwing a few 1-2s and trying to beat up half the team in the Sharks. But it is what it is. When the lights are turned off at the Warriors, I think they can be very happy. Things are looking okay. We got the Bulldogs as well next week. I'm feeling optimistic. This is definitely the best chance to actually go for a 3-0 run, right? Oh, crazy, man. This way you just love this team and hate this team at the same time. But in saying that, it's great, it's joyous, it's good. But thanks again, guys, for watching. I will be getting back to the comments as well. Thanks again, guys, for the engagement as well. But in saying that, take it easy. And when the lights are turned off, the Warriors definitely know how to hold the ball. See you guys next time.